Hello guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe, and this time around we're reviewing Spawn issue 255. I've actually enjoyed Spawn a lot since the Al Simmons resurrection and back into Spawn once again. For those who don't know, the premise of this is basically that Satan has killed Spawn's wife, Wanda, and taken her soul, and you're not sure whether at times whether Spawn's really after saving her or after making everybody pay, because it's always seems to be a double-edged sword in each one of these books. Anyway, this book starts off where it left off with the Changeling basically starting to tell Spawn Satan's offer to him. And Satan's offer is rather simple. He will give him his wife back. They can go live forever as human together, except for two things. They want his power in his symbiote, and that he can never go to hell again. Never step in hell again. That's the deal. That's what Satan wants. So Spawn says he has to think about it. He says, we gotta go to my place. So he wraps her in his cape and he transports her to basically the alleyway with his skull throne, I guess you'd call it. Because he said he had to go there to think, which is not really what he really wanted to do, because when they get there, it kind of looks like they're about to kiss, and he grabs her, slams her up against the wall, hits her a couple times. It says, you know what you're doing. You know he's gonna make you pay for hurting me. You're gonna pay. And Spawn's like, I know exactly what I'm doing. You go tell your boss I'm not gonna make a deal with him that he's gonna pay for what he did to my wife, and then I am coming for him, and I'm going to hunt him down. I'm the man who's gonna take down Satan or creature, or whatever. That's implied because it doesn't say. But he says he's gonna hunt him down. But he doesn't say like man or anything like that. Anyway. So then he cuts off something where he goes. It cuts off her ability to change. She's now stuck as a human, looking like a human. And Spawn makes the point to her before he does this: "You're not a human. Why can't you act like it? I want to show me. There your eyes are changing. Show me your scariest form. You're not going to scare me." And then he cuts the thing off. She can't change anymore. So now we see the sad, basically funeral Wanda, with of course her new husband and three kids. All the kids are there. His granny's all there at the funeral. The kids, I guess, put something they made for and everything. And the daughter looks and says, "The bad man is here." She sees Al Simmons, says, "The bad man is here." And so that night you see Wanda's husband just basically distraught that she was stronger than him. He doesn't know what to do. He's going to raise the kids. What's he going to do? And Al Simmons shows up and he's like, "What are you doing here? What do you want? Get out." And, "I just lost my wife. What are you doing?" And he's like, "She was my wife too." And then he realizes who it is. And he's like, "You've been gone for months. You haven't come around. You've been gone for months." And he goes, he wants to know details. I mean, Al Simmons wants to know details about Wanda from him, and the other guy's kind of being reluctant. Like, he's so distraught with what's going on. He's not thinking straight. He told her, she was going to get the kids, and you want to know, like, who's she going to see. He finally tells her she's going to get the kids. And he realized that, like, this isn't really going to go anywhere with them. He eventually tells him, what do you say? She's going to some TV station for something. He tells him the TV station. He goes, "Do you know what that means?" He goes, "No, but I'm going to find out." And he goes, "I should have done this." He goes, "I promise you the family will never get hurt. Anybody in this family will never get hurt again." And he uses his Spawn stuff, and you see a Spawn symbol go on Granny and all the kids and his head, some way of protecting him, I guess. He doesn't really get into detail, but just he does it. And so there you go with Spawn parts over. Now we get back to the girl, the Changeling. So she goes back to hell. She goes back. Obviously she sent it to Satan. And Satan's like, "So, did he accept her offer?" And she goes, "No, he didn't. Just like you said he would. And I told him exactly what you wanted me to tell him about time and stuff." But he said, "Oh, and he did anything else?" He goes, "Oh yeah, she said one more thing, that he's coming for you." And you see this massive head, like here you see her this big and the head's like this big. This massive head of like face like Spawn, like face, kind of like Spawn's in a way at the very end. And the only thing the issue says under that is just next Spawn, more pieces to the puzzle. So, overall, I've actually really enjoyed these Spawn books since Al Simmons came back, since they've gone in this new direction, because you don't really know where things are going. You're not sure where Spawn lies. He seems to go back and forth. On one hand, he wants to avenge his wife and get his wife back. On the other hand, wants to get his wife back. On the other hand, it seems like he just wants to get revenge against them and take down anybody who did this to her. And he wants to, and he also at times comes off since this book, I want you to take down both heaven and hell, not just one, but both of them. Because he's kind of understands the game and how kind of phony some of this game is when it comes to like the real world and real people. And he has no desire to like be with her because she has another life, his new husband and all this other stuff. And even though he loves her, he is never going to be able to do that. So it's rather interesting. And again, it's also because you don't know about Satan and what else is there in hell he's going to have to face or coming. Like it's not super fleshed out right now. There is mention, by the way, to the guy who played Spawn in between, Al Simmons disappearing and come back by her husband, because that guy actually saw, at one point, I guess, saw Wanda. So, what do you guys think of Spawn 255? Again, overall, I've liked it, just like I've liked Spawn's relaunch. I know Todd McFarlane is writing the story, but John Boy, I love the John Boy artwork. It is a lot like McFarlane's artwork, and the story's been pretty good up to this point. Again, they seem to have put some thought into where Spawn is going when he comes back, and we'll see what happens when we finally get to the end of this story arc, because that's really the test, right? When we get to the story arc and the next one starts. But so far, this has been really interesting. Love to hear your guys' opinions on Spawn 255. This is a case where you should read the issues since they come back to really get the whole scope, to really understand, where's Wanda, where Spawn or Al Simmons has been, where his mindset has been going with all this and everything else. Anyway, love to hear your guys' opinions like always, and I will do another review soon. Later, guys.